Good morning, everybody. Our judge is running just a couple minutes behind. He is on the fairgrounds, but 18-year-olds, you should be getting ready in the barn. Good morning, everybody. We're about ready to start. If 18-year-olds could start making your way to the ring and 17-year-olds getting ready in the barn.
The following exhibitors need to be outside the arena at this time. These exhibitors are Lance Cornwell, Bailey Fishback, Cameron Hall, and Peyton Smith. 17-year-olds, please be getting ready in the barns. Our 17-year-olds need to be making their way outside the show arena at this time. These exhibitors are Caitlin Brandenburg, Savannah Smith, and Jaden Swader. Please be making your way outside the show arena. 16-year-olds, please be getting ready in the barns.
If there are any junior Fairboard members that are available right now, could you come to the announcer's stand?
Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you for inviting me here today to evaluate not only your youth, but your livestock as well. First class here of our eldest was a very great way to start. I think there's some give and take as we look at these four as we go down the line, but I think the two young men surface relatively quickly. Not only do they kind of have a little bit more intensity, but it's the fine motor controls and their ability to kind of place where they need to go is what kind of lets them surface. Of the two young men, I think the young man here with the black-eared gilt, that's the one that had the most consistency from start to finish. From the minute he exited the gate to the minute that he's going to leave here, he has been the same pace, same speed, same intensity. He's maintained control. Does he position himself perfectly every time? No. He uses a little bit more of the ring. He makes himself go a little bit wider turn. He doesn't have quite the intensity I'd probably like him to have, but he definitely has enough to kind of surface relatively quickly in this class. Taking nothing away from the young man there in second, I think he does a wonderful job. He has moments where he has a little bit more control. He does want to close that gap between me and him, but it's where the inconsistency as we kind of go throughout the class. Sometimes he has some better control, sometimes he has not. It's kind of as the class we're on, the partner wanted to kind of push back and take away from the quality there, not taking nothing away from him again. Young ladies there that kind of go down in 3 and 4. I think that's where we kind of have to see the control with our partner take a little bit more of a priority, and I think that's where those two kind of separate themselves from the young men that lead the class. Taking nothing away from them, they do a great job. Please give them a big round of applause as they head on back to the barn.
Sixteen-year-olds, please be making your way outside the show arena at this time. These exhibitors are Isabella Bickle, Xander Fishback, Scarlett Lucky, Madeline Royce, and Shelby Swader. Please be making your way outside the show arena. 15-year-olds, please be getting ready in the barns.
Very, very fun class here as we get working through more of these showmanship today. Young lady there in the solid black shirt, I think, does a great job. Like the class winner before, start to finish, was just consistent all the way through. She wasn't the most aggressive. She wasn't the fastest. She does use a little bit of speed to find some of those openings a little quicker, but that's not her major advantage. Consistency is where she just kind of takes the cake and makes sure she has the same performance all the way throughout the class from start to finish. Congratulations to her. Taking nothing away from the young man with the blue rumped gilt, or blue rumped bearer there. does a great job. I think what would enhance his abilities is just dialing up that intensity a little bit more. You want to be a little bit more reactive instead of proactive whenever you're finding your placements. You're kind of wanting to go where the crowd wants to go. Well, you have plenty of space in here. You can go off and do your own thing and kind of be off doing it where you're still seen, but you're being more a little bit independent. Taking nothing away from the young lady, it's going to round out the class. I think it was more of a partner did not want to cooperate today versus in anything to do with ability. I think she has all the ability she needs. It's just today her partner decided that she was not going to cooperate. But give them a big round of applause. They head on back to the barn. They did a great job.
Fifteen-year-olds need to be making their way outside the show arena at this time. These exhibitors are Kemper Shepherd and Jax Dodson. 14-year-olds, please be getting ready in the barns.
Great class of kids here, and I think it's a wonderful place to start with these two young ladies here. The young lady in the solid black animal here in the center of the ring is going to lead off this class. I think from start to finish, she does a great job, not only in her consistency, but it's the intensity. As we dial that up, we understand that that aggression is not necessarily just, I want to win, I want to win, I want to win. It's, I have prepared for this moment. I have worked to get here, and we can see that in her ability here as she's displayed for us. Taking nothing away from the young lady here in the black shirt with the blue bear. Very, very great pair of individuals here. I think where her mistakes are made is her transitions. When she wants to turn or where she wants to change where she positions herself, she wants to hesitate. And I don't know if it's necessarily her or her partner or if it's just they haven't quite fine-tuned that. But if she could polish that a little bit more, that pair becomes even more competitive and this class becomes even more interesting. Taking nothing away from the young individuals coming down the line. But I think what we see now is more of a control issues or maybe some partners are just not wanting to work. The young lady here sitting in third, I think does a great job in terms of the fundamentals and basics. Where I kind of lose the ability to rank you higher in this class is your intensity. You want to be a little bit more reserved, not as much on the eye contact. Your control over the animal is absolutely wonderful. You can put him anywhere he needs to be. It's where the attention that you put on me is not as even as you're putting on him. It's an even give and take. And it's not to criticize or anything. It's to show you, you have all of the fundamentals. This is the last thing we need to build that final piece of the puzzle. Great job to that young lady. Taking nothing away from the two that are going to round out the class, I think it's more of the partners don't want to work. The individuals have the ability. It's just today the partners just decided that they do not want to be out here and they don't want to cooperate. And taking nothing away from those individuals, give them a big round of applause. They head on back to the barn.
14-year-olds need to be making their way outside the show arena at this time. These exhibitors are Shelby Bainham, Ashlyn Bowl, Taylor Dopp, Paisley Ealing, Stella Ninenchuk, Case Sexton, and Claire Wessner. Please be making your way outside the show arena at this time. 13-year-olds, please be getting ready in the barns.
Smaller class here. The two young men come out here and they give us a great demonstration really quickly. Young man there in the pinks who we're going to lead off with. And I think from those of you that are standing ringside or watching, the ability of in control he showed us in this brief time was just a little bit more advanced. He positioned himself where he needed to be. He kept the animal presented how it needed to be presented. He has the aggressiveness he needs to have. I think that's where he puts all those pieces together. Great job to him. Taking nothing away from the young man there in the blue, I think he does a great job when we talk about the fundamentals. There was a couple mistakes that he kind of made that led to the decision a little bit more quickly. The last one was kind of where you were transitioning away from and you crossed behind the pig. That was just, it's a small mistake. We all make them, and it's not taking anything away from you. I think you do a great job. It's just how the cookie crumbled today, and I think it's we go on and we do it next year. Big congrats to them as they head on back to the barn. Please give them a big round of applause.
Making their way outside the show arena at this time are age 13 showmanship exhibitors. These exhibitors are Riley Borchers, William Bertzel, Braley Clem, and Wesley Tucker.
Great class of kids here, and I think the lineup shifts kind of depending on where we want to put our priorities. But I think the individuals that put the most positives together surface relatively quickly for me, and that's where I land on the young lady here in the black vest. I think from start to finish, the most consistent job that we've seen today. She never got excited as the class went a little longer, and as we kind of worked away from bottom up, nothing changed. She didn't get more nervous. She didn't overuse the whip anymore. The consistency from start to finish is kind of what led her to be surfaced all the way up here. Then we add the intensity and the control and the eye contact. Those are the other things that kind of give her a little bit of an advantage. The decision kind of becomes down between 2, 3, and 4. That's where the discussion and the decisions need to be made. And I think the young man offers the most stability and consistency from start to finish. He's not the most intense that we've seen all day, but when we look at the way that he positions himself and he positions the pig and he uses the ring, that's where his advantages are shown. He doesn't do the flashiest job, but he does the best job without overutilizing his whip or his animal, and I think that's where his advantages lie. 3 and 4 is where we can kind of get an even closer discussion, and that's where the young ladies' partners also play a part into this. And I think that's kind of what led to some of the decisions. The young lady here in the Aztec kind of punted shirt and with the dark cross gilt here, I think that's one that if we could just make that animal cooperate a little bit better, that's where we can kind of give her a little bit more advantage. That stop and start tends to be a little bit more on the partner side than it did to be on the individual showman side. Taking nothing away from the young lady here in the blue, I think does a great job in terms of eye contact, intensity, and where she needs to place herself. It's as the drive went on, her partner decided that he wanted to make more decisions and he wanted to be in more control. And I think that's where you kind of got hindered by your partner, not necessarily by yourself. And that's kind of one of those things that we have to realize, that showmanship is a partnership between you and this animal. You guys have to cooperate on a given day to do the performance that you need to do. As we kind of work on down through the line and the rest of these individuals, I think we see more some kind of control issues or some partners that just don't want to cooperate with these kids today. And that's where their kind of disadvantages are with the kids that are above them in this class. Please give them a big round of applause as they head on back to the barn. They do a great job.
Entering the arena at this time are our age 13 showmanship class. These exhibitors are Riley Borchers, William Bertzel, Wesley Tucker, and Bristol Peltz. Congratulations to our age 14 showmanship winners. First place, Clara Wessener. Second place, Case Stahl. Third place, Stella Ninnichuk. Fourth place, Paisley Ealing. And fifth place, Taylor Dopp. Making their way to the arena at this time are our showmanship age 12 exhibitors. These exhibitors are Ansel Hatfield, Elijah Newberry, and Sadie Wolfer. Getting ready in the barn at this time is our age 11 showmanship class.
Great class of kids here, and I think the young man in the white, I don't think he initially surfaced to the top relatively quickly, but it's his ability to endure as this drive went on, and he continued to improve, and his partners and him stayed consistent all the way through, and that's what allowed him to lead his way up into first here. Taking nothing away from the rest of the individuals, but the young man here in the plaid shirt is going to be in second. I think this is one that if we could just increase your confidence a little bit, I think that's where you could absolutely shine. You have the wonderful fundamentals. You understand where you need to be placed. You understand positioning and speed. We just got to work on that confidence. You have the ability. Your partner is willing to cooperate with you. Take a leap of faith. You can experiment. Be aggressive. You do a wonderful job. The other thing I'm going to critique you on, and it's more of a comfort thing. Whenever we're showing and everything like that, I know it's always we always want to tend to fall into the trends and whatever's popular and new and what's winning right now. But we have to always remember at the end of the day, we have to present ourselves in a comfortable way. We cannot look too rigid. We can't look too tense. With you, it's more when you want to kind of crouch, you want to compensate for that. And I think that's where that kind of takes a little bit away from it. But again, that works back towards our confidence, and I think you do a great, great job. Taking nothing away from the two young ladies that are around out our class, I think it has more to do with partners today than it does anything to do with talent. A young lady here that's going to round out in three, I think does a great job. She can get where she needs to in the ring. Her partner will cooperate with her up to a certain point, and then he's decided, I'm not going any farther. And that's where we have to kind of have that give and take with that partnership. Rounding out the class, young lady there on the far side, from the start, I thought she'd had a great, great job. Her intensity, her eye contact, her placement are great. Her partner just decided that 2 minutes was that was the breaking point. After that, he just decided that he was going to control where you went and what you did. That takes nothing away from you. I see that you have the talent, you have the ability. It's just today your partner did not want to let you show that off to us. Please give them a big round of applause. They head on back to the barn. They did a great job.
Congratulations to our age 13 showmanship class. First place, Wesley Tucker. Second place, William Bertzel. Third place, Riley Borchers. And fourth place, Bristol Peltz. Entering the arena at this time is our age 12 showmanship class. These exhibitors are Ansel Hatfield, Elijah Newberry, and Sadie Wolfer. Making their way to the arena at this time is our age 11 showmanship class. These exhibitors are Isaac Bertzel, Brantley Clem, Edsel Dopp, Asher Hatfield, and Kendall Jett. Getting ready in the barn at this time is our age 10 showmanship class.
Just our three individuals here in this class, and I think they kind of separate themselves relatively logically for me, and they do it relatively quickly. A young lady here is probably the most intense and the most aggressive of the trio. She wants to be wherever she needs to be seen first. Every time I turn around, she's the first kid I see. That is important whenever, like a mobile judge like me, the reason that we actually do that and we generally turn our back to them is so that way when we turn and we see them, that's a fresh just snapshot of what's going on. We see who has been paying attention even though we're not paying attention to you. That it shows us that you are not only thinking of what you are doing right in this moment, but you're thinking 2-3 moves ahead. That's the whole purpose of this. We can all go out and grab a whip and walk a pig and do all that. That's not the hard part. The hard part is fine-tuning it and turning what becomes the basics into excellence. And that's where we kind of see these kids as they grow and they evolve and they continue to do this, they improve. Taking nothing away from the two young men, after I go on my little tangent here. The young man here on the far side with the glasses, I think, does the more consistent job in terms of how he presents himself. He is more intense. He has more eye contact. He tends to try to position himself where he needs to. His partner is kind of giving a little give and take. Sometimes they want to be a little faster. Sometimes they want to be a slower. Again, like we talked about throughout some of these other classes, it's a partnership. I think the young man himself does a great job, and that separates him here into that second pole. Taking nothing away from the young man that's going to round out the class, I think what we need to work on here is more just our intensity and our kind of our drive. You have the fundamentals of you know where you need to be, you know where your position needs to be. It's just we've got to add a little intensity and a little bit more in the drive to it. That will add to the abilities that you already do have, and that will increase your abilities here in this class. Please give them a big round of applause as they make their way on back to the barn.
Congratulations to our age 12 showmanship class. First place, Sadie Wolfer. Second place, Elijah Newberry. And third place, Ansel Hatfield. Entering the arena at this time is our age 11 showmanship class. These exhibitors are Isaac Bertzel, Brantley Clem, Edsel Dopp, Asher Hatfield, and Kendall Jett.
Good morning, everyone. As we welcome this new class in, I'd also like to welcome RJ Blankenship, who is our new 4-H educator starting today.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me. I'll be walking around. If you've got any questions, just grab me.
Making their way to the arena at this time is our age 10 showmanship class. These exhibitors are Boone Burbage, Sawyer Fairchild, Oakley Fleming, Caitlin Lindsley, Charlotte Williams, and Brennan Wolfer.
great group of kids here, and I think the challenging part is kind of when we split the difference in this age, because as we get to these younger kids, we don't always have to have those same expectations that we put on those older kids, because a lot of that ability comes with time and experience, and these kids have done a phenomenal job. A few of the partners didn't quite want to work, but I think that kind of helps when we need to make the lineup, and it makes the breaks a little bit different. Young man that we like to lead off here in the plaid, I think does a great job from start to finish. Intensity is great, control is great. He doesn't overutilize the whip. He knows how much force he needs to use with her, and what will get her attention when she doesn't respond how he wants her to. He doesn't overuse it, he doesn't underuse it, and I think that's a great, especially for his age, to be able to just differentiate between the two. Young lady here in second, I think, does a great job. Unfortunately, it's her partner that's kind of wanting to interrupt her ability to present herself. Every time she wants to make a pass, she herself is doing what she needs to do. It's her partner that's not wanting to continue to keep that consistency. He'll want it to be a little bit more start-stop, and I think that's just something that we're going to have to work on in the yard at home to make improvements there. But she does a great job. Young lady here in the striped shirt is going to be in 3, I think does a great job, especially as you see some of those instances where she can come up through the middle, she can make a pass through the pack and get a good view. It's unfortunately, as that drive went on, that gilt just kind of wanted to be a little bit more stubborn and didn't quite want to leave that far corner, and that's kind of what took away from her presentation here today. Young men here on the far end, that's going to round the class off. Those two did a great job. Young man there with the blue-headed, blue-rumped barrel. That one, a couple passes there, did a great job in presenting that barrel. It's just like we said with the young lady above. As the drive went on, both these hogs just did not want to cooperate less and less, and that's what ended up putting them down further in that class. Give them a big round of applause as they head on back to the barn.
Congratulations to our age 11 showmanship class. In first place, Asher Hatfield. Second place, Kendall Jett. Third place, Edsel Dopp. Fourth place, Brantley Clem. And fifth place, Isaac Bertzel. Entering the arena at this time is our age 10 showmanship exhibitors. These exhibitors are Boone Burbage, Sawyer Fairchild, Oakley Fleming, Caitlin Lindsley, Charlotte Williams, and Brendan Wolfer. Making their way to the arena at this time is age 9 showmanship class. These exhibitors are Hadley Dietrich and Kirsten Gray.
For those of you standing ringside, this has been probably one of the most interesting classes that I've got to evaluate today. Not in terms of just because of their ages or anything. It's the fact that they continue to push past my expectations of what that this age range should be able to accomplish. And it's not that I ever underestimate any of these children for their age. It's simply for the fact that those that are a little older generally will come with some more experience. And these kids in this class absolutely completely broke that mold. Young man that we're going to elect to lead this class off with probably the most consistent job we've seen all day from start to finish. He never got blocked into the pack. He always made sure that he was out and being seen. He made sure his intensity was the right amount. He didn't overutilize his whip, and his partner cooperated all the way through. All those stack up to a very, very good first class for this young man. Congratulations to him. The young lady here in yellow is one that had probably a little bit more of a difficult class compared to the young man above her. Her partner did not want to cooperate the entire time, but the reason that she was able to position and put herself in the place that she is now is for the fact that she didn't lose her cool. At this age, it's very easy for these kids to they'll have a little bit of a temper. They'll want to overutilize the whip. If you guys realize, when she was over in those corners, she never overutilized the whip. She didn't change her aggressiveness. She made sure to calmly reposition herself, use that ability to put herself back into the center of the ring without overutilizing the whip or overworking her partner. And at that age, that's a very, very big thing for her to accomplish on her own. Big congratulations to her for that. This is where the rest of the pack kind of becomes a little bit more tricky for us, because some of them have partners that don't want to work. Some of them may not have the intensity that they need to, and I think that's kind of where the differences lie. Young lady here in 3, I think, does a great job in terms of her positioning and towards the center of the ring. It's where her partner doesn't always want to cooperate, where she needs to position herself each and every time, and that's where it kind of becomes a little bit more difficult to her to rise up in places. Young lady there that rounded out there in 4, I think did a great job in terms of her ability to be seen and utilized in the ring. It's just her partner would not give her the ability to steer every direction she needed to go. He wanted to have a little bit more control over where they position themselves. As we move on down through the class, I think it kind of gets down to more intensity or partner cooperation as these kids kind of go on throughout this drive, and I think that made it a little bit more difficult. Give them a big round of applause. They head on back to the barn. They did an absolutely wonderful job.
Entering the arena at this time is our age 9 showmanship class. These exhibitors are Hadley Dietrich and Kirsten Gray. Congratulations to our age 10 showmanship class. First place, Boone Burbage. Second place, Charlotte Williams. Third place, Brennan Wolfer. Fourth place, Sawyer Fairchild. And fifth place, Oakley Fleming. Making their way to the arena at this time is our age 8 showmanship class. These exhibitors are Tabor Burbage, Cole Jett, Jenna Newberry, and Piper Standring. After the final drive has concluded, we will be proceeding with the adult showmanship class. If you would like to sign up, you can do that at the booth.
only two individuals here in our youngest division, but I think they both bring a lot of ability and talent to the drives that we've seen so far. Young lady here directly in front of me who we're going to lead off with, and I think does a great job, not only in her intensity, but her utilization of the whip and where she kind of wants to position herself. She knows that she doesn't have the arm reach to always get to each side of that barrow, so she compensates it, and she's not positioned or permanently puts herself on any one particular part of that animal. She is flexible with how she utilizes her positioning directly to her animal to get where she needs to go, and I think it's a great job for this woman this young to be able to do. Taking nothing away from the young lady here in the red, I think does a great job. It's kind of more of the inconsistencies with the partner. Your transitions is where I'd like to see you probably become a little smoother. Each time you want to change sides, you want to kind of do it a little bit more rapidly, whereas you have the time to do it as we're moving through this ring. We don't have to have those kind of more rapid, more mechanical movements. We can be a little bit more fluid, and that's something that just comes with time and age and practice. You will have plenty of time as you continue to travel down through this industry and continue to come here. Big congratulations to both these exhibitors as they make their way back to the barn. They do a great, great job.
Congratulations to our age 9 showmanship class. First place, Kirsten Gray. Second place, Hadley Dietrich. Entering the arena at this time is our age 8 showmanship class. These exhibitors are Tabor Burbage, Cole Jett, Jenna Newberry, and Piper Standring. All first place winners need to be getting ready in the barn for final drive.
Great way to end our showmanship here for these individual classes. Before we move our way into our overall drive, I think these kids, for being the first experiences there to show a pig at the fair, they do a great, great job. Young man here in the green does the most consistent job all the way through. He never overutilizes his whip. He doesn't push his partner to pick up speed. He lets that speed and that pace dictate how they're going to perform throughout here, but he maintains and stays cool whenever he does need to make any difficult decisions decisions when he's transitioning throughout this class. Young lady there in second, all the way down in the red and white striped shirt, does a great job. If we study the first 2/3 of the class, it's as her partner just decides that she realizes, I'm bigger, you can't make me do anything. And that's where the kind of the disadvantages with the younger ones is. They don't have the ability to push back when these animals decide that they don't want to do something, because they outweigh them by a substantial amount, and that's where their kind of advantages goes to the hog. The young lady does a great job. The young man here coming in 3, I think, does a good job in terms of eye contact and where he kind of tries to position himself around the ring. It's where his partner kind of just doesn't want to be as consistent as they need to be when they're working in this class. And I think that kind of takes away from his ability to show off of his talents. I think we give him a better partner, and maybe those placings can shake up a little different. Young lady that's going to round the class out, I think, does a great job in terms of eye contact and in terms of her intensity. It's just her partner does not want to cooperate today. She just wanted to maintain a position on the rail or stay there in that corner, and that kind of just took away from her ability to kind of get out and be seen. But does a great job. Love the smile that we get when we first come in the ring. Great job, these kids. Give them a big round of applause as they head on back to the barn.
Congratulations to our age 8 showmanship winners and exhibitors. First place, Tabor Burbage. Second place, Piper Standring. Third place, Cole Jett. Fourth place, Jenna Newberry. Entering the arena at this time is 18 showmanship class winner, Lance Cornwell. Showmanship 17-year-old class, Caitlin Brandenburg. Showmanship 16 class winner, Madeline Rose. Showmanship 15 class winner, Kemper Shepard. Showmanship 14 class winner, Claire Wesener. Showmanship 13 class winner, Wesley Tucker. Showmanship 12 class winner, Sadie Wolfer. Showmanship 11 class winner, Asher Hatfield. Showmanship 10 class winner, Boone Burbage. Showmanship 9 class winner, Kirsten Gray. And Showmanship 8 class winner, Tabor Burbage. Our judge today is Gus Mitchum. Gus grew up on a farrow-to-finish operation outside South Salone, Ohio, where he and his family owned and operated Mitchum Show Pigs until 2026. He is a graduate of Miami Trace High School and Southern State College, where he majored in agricultural business. He is currently pursuing a degree in education. Throughout his livestock judging career, Gus earned top honors, placing as the high individual in the state in both 4-H and FFA judging contests. His team also claimed the state championship, later finishing third in the nation, which earned them the opportunity to travel to Scotland and Ireland to judge internationally. Gus has evaluated pigs across Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, and West Virginia, bringing a practical experience driven by perspective to the ring. Passionate about supporting the youth in the industry, Gus volunteers the OH Pig circuit and works in the swine barn at the Ohio State Fair, continuing his commitment, giving back to the next generation of livestock exhibitors. Let's give our judge a round of applause.
Please give these kids a big round of applause because we all know how much time and effort and patience and hard work take to get to this point. These have been a wonderful group of kids to evaluate this morning, and I think you guys have a wonderful group of kids and showmen and families that support this, because we all know it takes a village to get any particular pig or kid to the county fair nowadays, because it takes a ton of time and resources and, above all else, patience nowadays to get here. These kids have done a phenomenal job. They've worked very, very hard to get where they are right now, and I think there is an individual out here that they set themselves apart without being ostentatious about it. Every time you turn around, they are exactly where they need to be. They utilize the full surface area of the ring. They don't crowd it directly in front of me. That is not the only position that they recognize. They understand that this whole ring is the field that they're allowed to kind of do what they want with. And there's one that every time you turn around, they're right there. The intensity is great. The control is great. And the ability to predict where either I'm going to move or where everybody else is going to move is great in terms of being able to find those holes of positioning. I'm going to go out and shake the hand of your overall showman. Please give them a big round of applause if you would.
Class, you're dismissed. Congratulations to Claire Wesener for getting first place. Hannah Heller, you should be making your way outside the arena for adult hog showmanship. There will be 3 heats of Pee Wee showmanship, so please listen carefully for when your child is called. Hannah Heller, you should be outside the arena at this time for adult showmanship. Stacy Arthur, you should be making your way outside the arena at this time. Stacy Arthur. Entering the arena at this time is our adult hog showmanship class. These exhibitors are Hannah Heller and Stacy Arthur. Making their way to the arena at this time is our first heat of Pee Wee Showmanship class. These exhibitors are Isabel Osborne, Lucy Riley, Delaney Sloan, Harper Noss, and Lydia Kraus. The first heat of Pee Wee Showmanship should be making their way to the arena at this time. These exhibitors are Isabel Osborne, Lucy Riley, Delaney Sloan, Harper Noss, and Lydia Kraus. All Pee Wee exhibitors must be Cloverbud age and be accompanied by an exhibitor in the arena.
Here in our advanced showmanship, I think the two young ladies do a great job, taking nothing away from either of them. I think it was more just kind of the consistent pace of the young lady here to my right that allowed her to kind of take the advantage, and there wasn't as much as a start and stop. Nothing against the young lady here directly in front of me. I think they do a great job. It's just we kind of need to dial that speed up a little bit, and if you notice, he kind of wanted to start and stop, and you had to continuously encourage him to continue to move, and I think that's where that kind of separates you two. But taking that away, I think they do a great job. Give them a big round of applause.
Congratulations to our adult showmanship class. First place, Stacy Arthur. Second place, Hannah Heller. Entering the arena at this time should be Isabel Osborne, Lucy Riley, Delaney Sloan, Harper Noss, and Lydia Kraus. The second class of Pee Wee Showmanship should be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Arlo Fairchild, Braylon Kink, Beckett Kink, Griffey Cooker, and Jace Smith. Entering the arena at this time is Pee Wee class Isabel Osborne, Lucy Riley, Delaney Sloan, Harper Noss, and Lydia Kraus. Heading to the arena at this time, or getting ready in the barn at this time, is Arlo Fairchild, Braylon Kink, Beckett Kink, Griffey Cooker, and Jace Smith. We will be resuming the hog show starting at 6 p.m., starting with gilts.
I think it's absolutely wonderful that you give these kids this opportunity to come out and show prior to kind of entering 4-H and committing to this kind of project long term. You can almost use it as a test drive, and I think that's how we grow and expand, and we make these things more accessible for these kids. These kids do an absolutely wonderful job for their ages, and I think they all have very, very bright futures. And my hats off to the parents that are willing to kind of let their kids come out and do it and try this, because we all know that it takes a village, like I said, and we do it as most of us do it as families. Again, congratulations to these young kids as they make our way on back to the barn.
Congratulations to our first heat of Pee Wee Showman. Entering the arena at this time is our second heat of Pee Wee Showman. These exhibitors are Arlo Fairchild, Braylon Kink, Beckett Kink, Griffey Cooker, and Jace Smith. Making their way to the arena at this time is our third heat of Pee Wee Showmanship. Cade Ruwine, Caleb Miller, and Knox Davis. Making their way to the arena at this time is our third heat of Pee Wee Showman. These exhibitors are Kate Ruine, Caleb Miller, and Knox Davis.
Rounding out your Pee Wee division here, like I said in that previous class, I think this is a wonderful opportunity for these kids to come out and do this. They all do a great job in terms of being out here for the first time. Big round of applause to these guys as they make their way back to the barn, and I hope to see you guys come back again next year or the year after to come and join the junior show.
Congratulations to our second heat of Pee Wee Showman. Entering the arena at this time should be our third heat of Pee Wee Showman. These exhibitors are Cade Ruine, Caleb Miller, and Knox Davis. We will be taking a break from the pig show and will be returning at 6 p.m. starting with Market Gilts.